Hello, welcome to How to Host Your Own Heaven on Earth Day celebration with Joy Pedersen. I'm Bevan Bird, the Soul to Soul Connector. I'll just introduce Joy. Dr. Joy Pedersen helped open up Heaven on Earth and was at the opening ceremony, bringing forth Heaven on Earth on March 30th, 2013. And she is an international best-selling author, spiritual leader, doctor of divinity, non-denominational ordained minister, licensed spiritual healer, certified spiritual health coach, and certified life coach, certified law of attraction practitioner, spokesperson for Heaven, and founder and president of Express Success LLC. And she's been seen on ABC, CBS, NBC, and Fox News, amongst others. And she was named Executive of the Year by Who's Who Worldwide. Hello, Joy.
Hi, Bevan.
So why are we here today?
Why are we here? Because you were generous enough to invite me to do this. And that's what I was saying earlier. It's like Heaven on Earth is here. Most people don't understand what it is, nor do they know how to embrace it and move into it. And the fact that you recognize and have a calling to share about Heaven on Earth and have volunteered to help spread the word, I'm just touched and thrilled, because for years I've been doing this work by myself in a vacuum. So to give you some background so everybody's on the same page, I'll add my story in here because it's pivotal to this. All of this is about everyone's history. It's the world's history, but it's my personal history also that was very involved in this. So in 2004, I kept hearing this booming voice, "You're going to find out who you are soon." And it was repeated week after week for months, and it would drive me crazy. And in July of 2004, Archangel Michael appeared to me and said I was him incarnate. One of my first questions is, why am I a woman? He said it was purposeful. And I kind of understood why more later. But anyway, I'm actually his twin flame, his Archangel Faith as my high self. So it's important to understand that element, because Michael asked me to join him in a healing practice and also to write his book, Wisdom of the Guardian, which is this book. And that actually changed my life, and I changed my business in order to work with him. I hadn't really understood what the purpose of our working together, but obviously when I said yes, it felt natural, and things started from there. One of the first experiences I had with him after that was seeing a demon across my balcony, and he stood there and just watched, and I got rid of it with my mind and yelled at him, "I thought that was your job." And I was realizing, of course, later, that he was teaching me that I could do this myself. Still didn't think that that was going to be a big part of our job. And over the next decade or so, what we've been doing is together working on clearing the cause of the fallen angels, their fall and their karma, and the fall of humanity's karma. So over these number of years, I've been working with him to clear the various stories from most people's shared history of creation forward, a lot of religious stories, history, things like that. So over the years, we cleared enough karma on both ends, enough darkness on both ends, to be able to open up Heaven on Earth. And when we got closer to Holy Week 2013, that's when things really kicked up, and specific stories were addressed, subjects like oppression, martyrdom, suffering, the serpent energy, the stories of Adam and Eve, the crucifixion of Jesus. All these things were addressed and cleared to set us all free so we could move forward. I didn't realize until that Saturday, March 30th, that it was going to be a real game changer. So on that Thursday before, we were given a new tree of life. I was also asked that day to invite a couple to join with me and buy new watches before 12. We could pick them out before 12 and then purchase them. It had to be after 12. And so the husband and I bought watches together. The wife went and got apple cider and water and glasses and a table at Whole Foods in the same mall. And we were guided to do a toast at 12:12, aligned at the divine to access all there is. We actually rebalanced the masculine and the feminine energies. And with this toast, then added the alignment with the divine to start over. So this was a new beginning. When I left the mall, I saw streams of light coming down, and Michael announced today is the first day of heaven on earth, which was thrilling. So we had the date open, but there were so many other events that needed to be cleared. I've been clearing them before, during, and after, and it's been an ongoing exercise. And my first goal was to clear the cause of darkness. Now the rest of it is really clearing the effects of darkness, which you can see is running rampant. But the good news is heaven on earth is here, and people can embrace it and move into it. And the incentive for doing that is life is easier. You don't suffer like you do in the 3D world where we've been coming out of. So when you move out of 3D and into 5D, life gets easier. It's a place of love, joy, peace, balance, and abundance. You get the qualities of heaven in a physical realm. And also you have the ability to connect with the other side easier. The veil is thinned. There, you can connect with angels and ascended masters much more easily. They show up when they want to show up and have conversations, and it's wonderful. So the incentive for going there is it's easier. Problem is most people don't understand that it's an inside job. It's not a location you're trying to reach. It's a dimension you're trying to reach. It's a dimension of consciousness. Unless somebody raises their vibration high enough, they won't reach heaven on earth. They may reach 5D, but they may not reach heaven on earth. We want people to understand what heaven on earth really is, because there's confusion about it. It's a topic that's been mentioned forever, but people don't really understand what it is, how to get there. Some people have been taught about the rapture and Jesus coming out of the clouds, different stories, and they're stuck sometimes in those stories, and they're not understanding what the current news is. Heaven on earth is here. It's available to all who embrace the concepts, work on themselves, let go of their baggage, raise their vibration, and ascend to heaven on earth. That nobody's going to be pulled out of their clothes, and there's not going to be clothes strewn all over the place. I still have mine. I'm still in my body. But my life has changed, and it's much easier. So we want more people to embrace that understanding and join us to celebrate heaven on earth on the anniversary of March 30th. This whole conversation is really based around trying to enroll others to share the same news. So if more people understand that heaven on earth is here and it's an option to the way they're living currently, they may choose to let go of their hate, anger, frustration, suffering, etc., and join us here in heaven on earth. They can't come in unless they have a pure heart. So if they're greedy and judgmental and angry, it's very hard to get here. They might have made it to 5D and have momentary lapses into 3D because there's significant programming, but if they let go of all of the old programming and all of their unhealed emotions and just forgive everyone and move into heaven on earth, it's so much easier and it's so much more fun here. It's all about having fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it shouldn't be too much work. So, but that being said, most people don't understand it and can't recognize the differences and nuances and don't even know what to shoot for if they're at all interested in letting go of their suffering. So the purpose of all this is to get help saying, okay, heaven on earth is here. And this is why these are some of the qualities. So I put together a toolkit, which is not complete quite yet because I still want to do a presentation to elaborate on the real history, the more thorough history of what I just kind of brushed over, so people kind of understand the dynamic. So in that toolkit, I put in, here's an example of some recent spiritual events. So these are major spiritual events like the Book of Life, the Tree of Life, the heaven, when Earth ascended, when Satan was absorbed back into light. People are still fearful of him and operating from that fear and don't realize he, the Prince of Darkness, and Lucifer are all no longer a direct threat. Lucifer is actually in the light serving God. If they understand some of these.
It's very important for people to get the updated news.
Right.
Yeah.
And they're still clinging to what was reported a couple thousand years ago. And believe me, God can change his mind. Free will can change outcomes. Prophecy isn't always understood. There's a lot of people questioning, when is this going to happen? When is this going to happen? We're in the time of tribulation. I could tell you the exact date and time when it started. And it's important for people to understand what reality is and how to best work with it.
Yeah,
and work,
play in it.
And work through it.
Play in this reality.
Right. So the toolkit is really arming with everyone with a few different tools. That's one of them. The presentation, as I said, is something that I still want to work on, and I actually may need your help, Bevan, because I try to do it on my own. So we can talk about that later. The other thing is I put in there, the banner that we use. We have a private group on Facebook, Heaven on Earth Day. And that's really for people who want to just get involved in spreading the word so we can bring more peace to the planet quicker. And that's really what this is all about. My vision for the future is, since I'm in the US, to have Heaven on Earth Day celebrated as broadly as Independence Day is here, where it's just a given. But in the meantime, people have to know what that day is and why worth celebrating. So if people have 5 people in their home, it's not about, the more the merrier always, but when you have those 5 people in your home, you can have drinks and discussion and maybe do some other things that would make it more interesting and far-reaching with education. Mm-hmm. And we have
here's a fun thing people might do, because sometimes there's vision board parties and things, right? So you get your vision board of heaven on earth. So what's your vision of the perfect world? How do you want to enjoy heaven on earth yourself? What do you want your life to look like? Mm-hmm.
That's a great question.
Mm-hmm.
So people might, and again, you and others may have other ideas about what can go into a lunch, a picnic, a drinks after work, an at-home party, whatever, to engage people in conversation, Q&A, and this private group is useful. So people have questions, suggestions like you just made. That's really great. So anyway, that's kind of what the agenda is really to enroll others in sharing the good news that heaven on earth is here. The world has changed drastically. We've also opened the new golden age, which is another dimension and reality that people can ascend to. And
I would definitely say dramatically, because drastically does have a negative connotation, but it has definitely changed dramatically and people aren't aware of it. So there's there's more possibilities that are available to us.
Absolutely. You manifest so much faster. It's incredible. But people have to let go of their 3D linear, I can't even say it, linear thinking, because that's what's keeping them stuck. And when you can manifest faster, if you're thinking about lack and struggle all the time, you're going to have it big time. Because that's what you're focusing on. And the natural state of law of attraction is going to attract lack and suffering. And you can turn it around like that in 5D.
So these celebrations are going to be all over the place about a month from now. So what else do we need to know? And after we go through this section of it, then we'll stop the recording and we can start another, because we'll do Q&A with whoever's here live.
Okay. So, I mean, basically it's be familiar with it, with heaven on earth, what it's, how we got here, what it's for, why people can benefit, and how people need to reach it. So that's the basics.
I want to recommend to people to read that report. I read that. It was great. If you don't like reading, then there's things you can listen to too, I think. Like, because you gave me a package from recordings from last year's celebration. I really liked listening to them. And when I started, I didn't have a lot of time to invest into it. And I just started with listening to these channeled messages. Like, you had a message channeled from God, and then also Archangel Faith, your higher self. And I loved those. Those are great. That's where I started. You just
gave me a good reminder. I forgot that there was a recording I did last year. I could add that to the page. So what I did is we have a link to a page where if people want to sign up, then they can be receiving updates as well, but they can get the downloads that I put together. And like I said, I'm going to continue to add to them. And that'll be a lot of information that people can have, they can share. There's even links to t-shirts, like the Heaven on Earth logo, if people want to get buttons and pass them out on to a group of friends, or wear one, or wear a t-shirt or whatever. So, having the logo, somebody might say, oh, what is that? And opens the door for conversation. So it's not just about the actual anniversary. Those are tools that anybody can use anytime, but they can distribute them or share them or talk about them at an event or whatever. I have the banner, the Heaven on Earth banner, which is really a lot of our marketing materials for this occasion. And if somebody wants to do some kind of like a Facebook invite or something like that, like we did for Lakeland where I am, they can do their own. There's other t-shirts or graphics, including a painting I did on my vision of Heaven on Earth, and then Heaven on Earth is here. So another, just fun things that, helps bring awareness. And that's all we're really trying to do, is help bring awareness. It's like I did the heavy lifting. That's already behind us. And I have to say, it's really God working through me to do that heavy lifting. It was really God doing the work. I showed up though and helped facilitate, by being there, but it was really God doing all this. Now it's an opportunity for everyone else to allow God to work through them and spread the word to whomever would be open and interested. And if they're not open and interested, don't take offense. It's coming out of left field for a lot of people. They haven't been educated that this is coming like now, that it's not going to, they don't know exactly how it was going to happen. I didn't know how it was going to actually happen until it happened. And those are the types of questions in people's minds. It doesn't look like what they anticipated. People are afraid of the rapture. They're looking forward to the rapture. they think something's going to happen specifically and they're going to be sent somewhere else. They're not going anywhere. They're just going to have a better experience where they're at if they ascend in consciousness, because it's always about their consciousness. So if you're talking to people who aren't consciously aware or open to these concepts, don't take offense.
Absolutely. And so the kit is for anyone that wants to spread awareness of that heaven on earth is here and assist more people to get into it, and also to assist yourself getting into heaven on earth, and for anyone who wants to host a celebration on Heaven on Earth Day.
Yes.
Okay. Anything else?
No, I think that's pretty much it. The group on Facebook, Heaven on Earth Day, will, and anybody can join us there. It's closed. They ask to be invited, or I just say yes, and then they can be part of the conversation. So people can ask questions. We can talk about ideas for events, things like that. And if they want to get the information that we put together in the toolkit, they can just get that as well. And when we share this afterwards, we can include that link.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you so much for all of the work that you've done, Joy.
Oh, you're welcome. I would say it was my pleasure, but sometimes it was rather harrowing. But I'm so glad we're here now.
Yes. Heaven on earth is here.
Yeah, lots to celebrate. And I want everybody with us. Mm-hmm. The more people that move into heaven on earth, the quicker we'll have peace on earth.
Mm-hmm. All right. I look forward to talking about it specifically with organizing the events, hearing what you've got organized in Lakeland, and see what I want to do here and what the others who are here with us, what they want to organize.
Right.
So that's it for now, and we've given you the links with this to access the kit and the group, so you can connect with Joy.